on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Joni Taylor Coaches Show, presented by Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit Rudy's.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. And by Twisted Tea, hard iced tea for the 12th man. Please drink responsibly. Now, the Joni Taylor Coaches Show.
Hello again, everybody. We have a great crowd out here at Rudy's Barbecue. It is the first edition of the Joni Taylor Radio Show. You heard that loud outburst from the crowd here as they all were gasped that we are actually having a radio show. Good. That was great. We'll have to do a warm-up next time. Everybody's been here for quite a while. There's still some good seats available. You can drive on by here at Harvey Road, have dinner with us here at Rudy's Barbecue. I'm Steve Miller, and the coach Joni Taylor will join us in just a few moments. Coming up on the show, we'll have a slew of guests joining us and be headlined by Lauren Ware, Aisha Kulali, and Coach Chelsea Newton. All of that coming up on the show today. The Aggies are receiving votes in the AP Top 25. How about that? We'll get that started right there. The top 25 right now, number 1 is South Carolina, number 2 is Iowa, number 3 is UCLA, and our opponent this week, Purdue, in 2 nights from now, lost at number 4 UCLA 92-49 a few days ago, just for a comparison here. Number 4 is this week is Utah. Number 5 is Colorado. If we look at the teams in the SEC that are outside the top 5, number 7 is LSU. Number 15 is Tennessee, and 23 Ole Miss. So that is where we line up right now. Again, the Aggies are receiving votes. 2-0, beat Corpus Christi to start the season last Thursday, 73-50, and then beat North Texas 74-55. And in the North Texas game yesterday, what a fun deal, at least for one half. And we'll talk to Joni about the tale of 2 halves that went down, and she talked about a little bit that on the post-game show yesterday. Janiah Barker, 18 points, 8 rebounds. We had India Rogers, 12 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and Aisha Kulali, 14 points, 10 rebounds in that game. The Aggies managed to get 23 points off of the turnovers that North Texas committed. There was 23 turnovers. The Aggies got a point from each and every one of them. Also, 34 of the 74 points in the paint. And I know everyone in this room has been impressed already with the amount of scoring in the paint so far this season, led by Lauren Ware. And we're going to be talking to Lauren here in just a little bit. I believe practice is wrapping up or being wrapped up. And so she'll be joining us here in just a few moments. Here it is, the recap quickly of the Corpus Christi game. Again, it seems like we start every season with Corpus Christi, and this season was no exception. Aisha Kulali led all scores with 17 points, 6 rebounds. You had Lauren Ware, 15 points, 12 rebounds, and India Rogers, 12 points and 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. I assume everyone here has been impressed with India Rogers at the point. Yeah, been pretty exciting so far. Enjoying watching that for sure. All right, as I mentioned, our next game is going to be on Thursday. That's at Purdue. Anybody here going to be joining us? Anybody made plans? Didn't know if anybody was going to. We got a few folks. All right. Didn't know if it was going to be a drive. It's a little long for some of you, but I know some people are crazy and end up driving it. But anyway, 6 o'clock Central, and you can listen here on the A&M Sports Network locally, Zone 1150. It'll also be on the Big Ten Network digital channel. So Big Ten Network Plus, kind of like how you watch SEC Network Plus, but it's not ESPN. So if you can find that. And then next Monday, the Aggies host Houston Christian. That used to be Houston Baptist. They now call themselves Houston Christian, if you're following along. That'll be 7 o'clock, Reed Arena. That's the next home game next Monday. And one final reminder, Beyond Basketball, that's the community and networking opportunity for women in the Brazos Valley. That next one is December 13th. Of course, a Wednesday, 8 a.m. at Reed Arena. That's going all the way through May 1st. And you can contact Angela Jones in the women's basketball office for more information on Beyond Basketball. When we come back, Coach Joni Taylor joins us. We're at Rudy's Barbecue. Hope you'd come out and join us, have some dinner with us. We're talking women's basketball tonight. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Head on over to your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com to place an order for their Real Texas Barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. And don't forget, Rudy's serves made-to-order and grab-and-go breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. We're back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show. I'm Steve Miller. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue. Come on by and join us. We're on Harvey Road. We will be here almost each and every week, except right there during the holidays, here on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock for the Joni Taylor Radio Show, where we'll talk women's basketball, and we're looking back at the North Texas game. You know, the Aggies scored 29 points in that first quarter. Great output by Texas A&M. That was the most points they had scored since scoring 32 points in the fourth quarter against TCU back in December of 2021. That was a long time. That's a lot of games, showing you how significant those 29 points are against North Texas. The 49 points put up in the first half are the most that A&M had scored in a half since a few weeks earlier in 2021 versus Texas Southern. And at the same time, A&M holding North Texas to just 9 points in the second quarter. And that was the first of the two games, the first quarter, where A&M had held the defense. The defense had held the opponent to single digits. And the goal this season, really trying to keep under 10 points. Let's mark it. All you get is 10 points or less for the opponent. And that is the Aggie defense stepping up. And how about the defense stepping up with KK Green coming into the game the other day? 5 steals for KK. Everywhere she was stealing the ball, and I don't know what more we could ask from KK there, but super impressed. Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Hi, it's Joni Taylor of Joni Taylor Radio fame. How are you?
I still have the whistle in my pocket from practice. How about that?
Hey, it takes extra effort.
You know?
You can't be in 2 places at once, but we're happy you're able to get here and join us to talk a little basketball. Congratulations, 2-0.
Thank you.
I realize you're supposed to be 2-0, but congratulations, right?
Thank you. Feels good. Feels good.
When you look at these two games, we, at least from the outside looking in, we see a lot of points being scored, and the defense stepping up at some really key times and showing some bright spots. How have you evaluated the first 2 games?
That's a loaded question. I'm really happy about some of the things that we've done. To say that we have 8 new players, lots of different pieces. We're putting people in different spots on the floor. People are playing different positions, multiple positions. So with all that being said, overall, I am pleased. However, we need to put 4 quarters together. There's times where we look like we haven't guarded a thing defensively. There's times where we didn't have really good shot selection. Perfect example is against North Texas on Sunday. We had 10 assists in the first quarter, which is great. And we finished with 18, which means we only had 8 for the next 3 quarters. That is not okay. It's not okay. Not for what we are capable of being this year. However, I also understand this team, what I keep telling them and us is we've got to learn what it looks like to win. We don't know what it looks like. And so they look at the scoreboard, we're up 15, we're up 20, and we're excited, and we should be up 40. So it's keep your foot on the gas. Let's not settle, right? We could have done so much more against North Texas. We could have done so much more against Corpus Christi. So yes, I'm pleased, especially considering last year how hard they fought, how much they've learned. But there's just a lot of room for improvement, which gets me excited because there's some low-hanging fruit that I think we could address that could really take things to an even better level.
Is learning how to win, is that realizing what you've got to do over all 4 quarters? Right. It's not just, oh, hey, look at the scoreboard.
Correct, because if you look at, we're not, no disrespect to Corpus Christi or North Texas. Royce does a great job, Jason does a great job, but We're playing for March and April. We're not playing for November. And how we are playing in these first 2 games is not preparing us for the SEC tournament, the NCAA tournament. And that's where our mindset needs to be.
How has your new lineup, got all new faces, haven't been in College Station long, how do you think that is molding so far?
I think they're doing a really good job. You talk about India Rogers, who's a 5th-year senior, right, has played the point for USA and Oregon the last 4 years. Lauren Ware played in the Final Four as a freshman at Arizona, has been a part of USA basketball, so she brings the championship mentality. She's our mama bear. Then you have AC, who obviously has played in this league. So the 3 of them with Sahara and Janiyah give us some experience and some continuity in terms of like the standard and the way we do things defensively and what we want offensively. So they have done a really good job of playing together, getting a good feel for how we want things to go.
How does what they do on the court and in practice and off the court help the younger players?
Well, it depends on the day. For the most part, it sets the tone for how we want to defend, how we want to talk, how we want to aggressively rebound, how we want to execute on the offensive end, share the basketball. They are called starters for a reason, and for the most part, they do that. There are some times where I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like the 3rd quarter of North Texas. We didn't get off to a great start, and that was our starters. And so they've got to take ownership and responsibility to know that you are setting the tone. This is the expectation we have as a team, and it starts with you.
We've mentioned defense. There were bright spots. There were low spots. So where are we at defensively?
I'm most disappointed in our transition defense. Our transition defense is not what it needs to be. When we can get in the half court and get set, we do a really good job of making it hard on our opponent so far to score, and we have rebounded the ball really, really well. When we're not back and we're not set, people are driving the ball down our throat and getting easy looks or kicking it out for threes, and so our defensive transition is what needs the most work right now.
And defensive transition is what?
It is when we don't score and the other team gets the ball out and pushes it really quickly before they have to call a play. And so it's like their fast break versus our defense. And that puts us in defensive transition where we're not all turned around back and set.
What was the spark that KK Green provided you yesterday, 2 days ago?
2 days ago. So obviously KK had been out. She was on a 15-minute load restriction on Sunday. She came in, and what we really have spent a ton of time talking to KK about is run our team, know your position and everyone else's so you can put people in the right spots, and defend the heck out of the basketball and make open shots, right? Don't force, don't search, don't look. When you have your shot, take it, and then be a great facilitator. And I thought she was excellent in all those areas. She took 2 shots, didn't make either one of them, but I was fine with both of the ones that she took. And defensively, I think she had 5 deflections in 1 minute. So deflections is not something that shows up on the stat sheet, but it's how many times can you get your hands on a ball. A block shot is a deflection. A kick ball is a deflection. She had 5 in a minute. Just all over the place, and I thought she was a spark plug for us both times she came in. She set the tone, and if she'll commit to doing that all year long, she's going to be fun to watch.
Setting the tone and being a spark plug, did some of the other players answer and step up their defense?
I think so. I think AC stepped up defensively. I think Tanea came in and tried to do the same thing. We had some others who watched and clapped and thought it was really good, and then went out and tried and wasn't as successful. But, you know, again, we tell them, like, everybody is not going to defend the way KK defends. That's not what we're asking, but we're asking you to defend at your best. Everybody's not going to shoot it the way someone else is going to shoot it, but whatever is in your wheelhouse on both sides of the ball, you need to be able to do, and it needs to be something that we can consistently count on you to do and expect for you to do when you step on the floor.
Kind of toss the keys to India Rogers to run things. What have you seen from her?
I love her floor game. Her assist-to-turnover ratio is unbelievable. You know, we struggled turning the ball over last year a ton. And we had 14 on Thursday and 10 on Sunday, which is probably lows for us. And it's because the ball's in her hands a ton. She just makes the right decision. She doesn't get sped up. You guys haven't seen this, but she is fun to watch on offense. She's missed more shots Thursday and Sunday than I've seen her miss all summer and all fall. So that's not anything that I expect, you know, for her to continue doing, but she's got a great feel for when to score for herself and when to get her teammates involved, and just does a good job of running the show for our team.
Coming up on the show, we'll have Lauren and AC joining us. They both have just been huge contributors here over these first couple of games. Obviously, you probably expect that. First, let's start with Lauren and what she has done just kind of manning the paint there.
Yeah. You know, what's incredible about Lauren is that we have her modified in practice, you know, so she doesn't even do half of the things that we do in practice because we're trying to save her knees. They just walked in the door. We're trying to save her knees a little bit. So Lauren is our captain. She's our voice. She defends at a high level. She's our rim protector. She had, 5 blocks on Thursday. So she understands how to move her feet, protect the rim without fouling and keeping herself on the floor. And then she directs traffic. She sees everything. She tells people where to go. You can probably hear her talking out there on the floor. And then she takes the right shots. You know, she knows when to score. She knows when to pass it back out. And so she's just got a really good feel.
Kind of felt like the guards were able to find her, especially in the Corpus Christi game. But yes, obviously in this last game too. That helps kind of maybe mess up the defense a little bit for the other team.
It does, because you know a lot of times they're going to pack the paint. Like, they're going to try to take the paint away from us. And so when Lauren can do that and then kick it back out and know when to score, know when to pass it, it just makes it hard for the defense to do one thing or to take one thing away.
Also walked in with her was Aisha Kulali, and we've watched her play for a couple of years, but what are we seeing now from her?
Well, it's nice to see her in maroon and white, not in orange and blue, I'll tell you that. We've really stretched AC since she's been here. She's playing the 3 for us, and she played the 4 at Auburn, and so she's taken on a whole new position. She still plays the 4 some. So she has to know 2 positions. She goes back and forth. We're asking her to defend at times the other team's best guard, the other team's best forward, run the floor, knock down shots, rebound. I mean, she's someone who, our expectation is when we look at her stat line, every category, steals, assists, rebounds, points, it should all, except for fouls, right? We don't want that stat line full. But otherwise, she's someone who can fill up a stat sheet. She just brings us a lot of versatility on offense. But she's the epitome of what I would call a two-way player. She's someone who can really dominate on both sides of the basketball. There's so many different ways you can post her up. She can drive it. She can shoot it. So just excited to continue to watch her grow and develop on both sides of the ball.
All right, when we come back, we're going to be visiting with our associate head coach, Chelsea Newton, and then Lauren and AC will join us in just a little bit. We are live at Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Howdy, Ag. Steve Miller here, inviting y'all to visit Costa Vida Fresh Mexican Grill. It's Baja-style Mexican, made from scratch daily, serving breakfast tacos, lunch, and dinner. It's Aggie-owned and operated in South College Station. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show. Got the coach here. We're also joined by associate head coach Chelsea Newton. And Chelsea and I were just kind of talking about the way things are right now and how to get the season started. What have you liked so far about the early going?
You know what? I've enjoyed watching us have bodies. People. To actually look down at the end of the bench and just really
You've learned to count to more than 7?
Yes, it's amazing. But no, it's been fun because our young ladies really want to get better. They're trying to get better. They're trying to learn. And just being able to coach every single day. We're trying to coach the details, just everything, learning how to win. And you know they want it. You know, they really want to be better. And so being able to see them grasp concepts and start to grow and learn has been pretty cool, watching some of the transformations from last year.
How would you describe the off-season transformation, or what went on in the off-season from the time you leave South Carolina from the SEC tournament until folks see this team this last Thursday? How did that go?
At the end of every season, we have end of the year player meetings, individual meetings, and I think those conversations were brutally honest and just saying that things were going to be a lot different than what they were. Joni is always a straight shooter. What you see is what you get, and so they understand that as well. And so it was very clear that there won't be the same grace that we had last year, just because, you know, we were just trying to figure it out. This year we are on a mission. You know, so that mission starts at the moment that the ball stopped bouncing in South Carolina. This is the mission to get back to where we're supposed to be at Texas A&M. And so those conversations were honest, what people needed to work on, what, you know, everything, offense, defense. And so it was clear. Went home, came back, and we got to the business. Everything was about a championship mindset. And so I think they responded There's not one player, I don't think, that responded to what we asked of them and the expectations that we have for them coming this year. And so since then, we've been rocking and rolling. And
doing it with a fair amount of new faces. And how do you think that has mixed in?
I think everybody, the thing you worry about the most is of course, players coming in and not being the family atmosphere, not having the same sisterhood. And they've come in and everybody is just seems to mend, to gel, learning to communicate with each other. Like, we have a team full of people that are just trying to be great together. And so you don't always get that. A lot of times when you get transfers, you have them versus us type situation, and we completely don't have that. So it's pretty awesome to see us gel and blend and just try to figure it out. We all want to do better together.
For you, most folks see you just on the court on game day. Tell us about your offseason, what you were doing as associate head coach.
First of all, I was trying to move into my house. That's what I was doing off-season. But no, it's the same thing. Like, we're always trying to get better as well. So we're doing whatever we need to do, whether that's just learning more basketball, learning how to respond to our players, getting better individually. And then we, also try to take time off. We were recruiting. I went to Mexico for a USA team, then went to Spain to see Joni's team. And we were traveling all July, June for recruiting. So it's just, that's always at the forefront in the summer. And so then being in the gym with our players, when Joni's gone, we're just trying to, individually work out with them and do things of that nature. But I did go on vacation, guys. So
where was vacation?
Awesome. This year I went to Croatia.
Croatia? Hang on. Who all here has been to Croatia? We've got some folks right here in the very front.
It's pretty cool, right? Yeah. I went to Croatia and actually Israel. I was in Israel for a week.
Okay.
So it was a pretty cool vacation. And so I had an opportunity to relax a little bit.
Joni, what does Chelsea bring this coaching staff?
I don't know if we have enough time for me to talk about all the things that she brings.
There you go. I paid her well before we got
Wait a minute, where was my cut?
Yeah. No, this is year 9 for us, being together. And so Chelsea, number one, she's done what our players want to do. You're looking at a WNBA champion. She is a world champion WNBA player. She's coached Final Four. She's coached WNBA players. She played at a very high level. And so she can look at our players and say, that is not what it looks like. Or that is what it looks like. It's amazing. Every year, once February comes, agents start calling Chelsea every single day because they want to know not only about our players, but you played against Tennessee, you played against South Carolina. Tell me about this player. Tell me about that player. What do you think? Should I draft her? I have the number 1 pick, Chelsea. What do you think I should do? So she just brings a wealth of knowledge. She's obviously a great coach. She handles all of our time and score situations, a minute or less in the game. It's Chelsea. She's got the board. She's telling our players what to do. She's an excellent recruiter. And so she's just someone who is willing to do whatever is needed for our players and our program.
Thank you. Give me a hug. Go ahead and bring it in. I know that's right, sister. I didn't pay her for that, but I appreciate it. I got you.
What was year 1 like with Chelsea?
Oh, man. So Chelsea played for Vivian Stringer at Rutgers and coached with Vivian Stringer at Rutgers, like Hall of Fame, right? High level. With that being said, I had to tell her, like, listen. So we went on the road recruiting in July, and my first game is like at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so like around 6:30, I look and my phone's ringing and it's Chelsea. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? And she's like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm good, how are you? And I'm waiting to find out like what she wants. And then I realized in the conversation, she's calling to make sure I'm awake. And I was like, oh, baby, you don't have to do that. Like, I'm up, I'll be at the gym. Likewise, I'm flying from somewhere else, and I'm meeting her at I don't know where we are. And she goes, I'll pick you up from the airport. And I said, no, you will not. You will stay at the gym. I know how to get a rental car. I will drive myself to the airport. So it was a bit of, I don't want to say deconditioning. That's not fair. And I'm definitely not talking about Vivian because Vivian is amazing. But you know, I had to tell her, like, I still can, you know, I'm not at the age yet where you have to call and wake me up and make sure I'm awake in the morning and know how to get from gym to gym.
Getting the real scoop here. That was great.
Yeah, seriously.
Do you have somebody now picking you up, Chelsea? You've aged a little bit now.
Ooh, Steve.
No?
No, not yet. Not yet. We're working on it, though.
No? All right, well, congratulations so far. We've got 2-0 right now. Everything is going great, and it's happy times. And thank you for coming out and joining us tonight at Rudy's.
Thanks for having me.
That is Associate Head Coach Chelsea Newton. When we come back, we've got some players. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, a VIP tour of Reed Arena, and will be recognized on the video board during the game. Register today at 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. We are back at Rudy's Barbecue here on Harvey Road. It is the Joni Taylor Radio Show. With the coach, Joni Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. Great crowd out here tonight. Appreciate everybody being here, having a great time talking hoops. And we are joined by Lauren Ware, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah. So the easy thing that comes out of her mouth is, oh, Lauren Ware was at Arizona. But that's not what I want to talk about right now. How cold is it in your hometown of Bismarck, North Dakota today? Do you know?
Oh, I'm guessing around 40, 30 degrees.
Oh,
they've already had snow, though, so I know they've had some snow. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like when I go back for Christmas. But that's always the best time to go back because I'm hoping for the snow at that point. But
And how much is enough snow for you there?
Well, we get a lot of blizzards, so we'll get to where they'll cancel school, you know, we'll have like 6 feet of snow where they'll have to send like the plows to come through the streets. Like, it's bad, but I mean, that's normal for us, so.
How cold is the coldest you ever remember it there?
It's been to like -50 with like wind chill, like where you could like walk outside and if you don't have like gloves, like earmuffs, if you're outside for like 5 minutes, you could get frostbite if you just like stand out there, so.
Look at Joni. -50?
It's extreme, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you definitely need a light wrap for that.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Anybody here been at -50? Any brave souls here? Goodness, that is cold. Well, no wonder you wanted to play basketball in the southern part of the country, right?
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, great. Well, we're so excited to have you at Texas A&M. A couple of great outings so far. I think the fans have really enjoyed watching you play in just these 2 games. What has drawn you to Texas A&M?
Well, obviously Joni was a big reason I came here, but I think just the staff in general and the team when I came here, I already knew Joni prior to coming here and taking my visit, but once I stepped foot on campus and really got to see what Texas A&M was all about and the staff and the rest of the team, like I was completely sold. It was a no-brainer for me, so I'm just really happy to be here.
Yeah, we are. We're super excited to have you. You say it's a no-brainer, but is transferring a tough decision? I mean, how do you judge that? How do you handle that?
Yeah, no, transferring is really hard. I think obviously the transfer portal has been something that's grown over the years. It wasn't a very popular thing, but now you're seeing thousands of student athletes enter the portal every year. So I think it's important to know, like, as a student, you need to do what's best for you. I think there's always 2 sides of it, you know, the team and then you're the player, but I think as long as you're making the right choice for yourself, I don't think you can really do any wrong, and obviously I made the right choice coming here, so. Yeah,
for sure. We would totally agree with that. You were a 2-sport athlete. Mm-hmm. When did you decide that basketball versus volleyball was where the direction your career was going to take you?
Yeah, I committed to play both volleyball and basketball my freshman year coming into college, and then COVID ended up happening, so I ended up starting with basketball and then just kind of sticking with it. I did try volleyball for a little bit. I went to like a tournament and did practice for about a week, but I think I always kind of knew basketball was more my thing, and it's something I've done since I was really little. I did it for a lot longer than volleyball, so I think basketball was kind of where my heart was, and that's just what I stuck with. So,
your teammates have had a pretty easy time finding you the last couple of games. How has that been possible?
I mean, my teammates are just amazing. Like, I think before, like, I would post up, I'm not really haven't been really considered a scorer, I think. So, I mean, obviously I'm capable, but I think it's just a matter of my teammates seeing me, and they've done a great job of finding me, and that's all credit to the coaches working with them and them working on getting the ball inside and, making the right reads and stuff like that. And they put me in a great position to score, which makes it a lot easier for me. I'm not having to force shots. A lot of the times, you'll see it's like a pass off a ball screen, making the guard, making the right read. So, I mean, all credit to them for putting me in the right position.
You've only been here a short time, but do you have a favorite A&M tradition yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
I mean,
I've been up. Yeah, it's a little early,
okay.
But I mean, I've been to Midnight Yell, and I think that was an amazing experience. I went to my first one, and just seeing everyone and the crowd. It's just crazy to think people really go to practice the yells. I've never experienced something like that. At midnight, I was like, and I live really close to the stadium too. So the nights that I haven't gone, I can still hear them like loud from my room. So it's just a cool experience to see everyone rallying around the school. So
we have a bad habit on this program of asking people what their favorite food is, even though we're at a restaurant. So we'll continue that bad habit and ask you what your favorite food is.
My favorite food is any type of pasta. So any type of pasta, spaghetti, Alfredo, yeah.
Does it need to be from any place specific, or is there a secret family recipe, anything like that?
No, anyone could make it. I would eat it.
Wow, that's great.
I'm not picky, so.
Joni, is she that easygoing all the time?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
We'll have to put that, make sure it's on the team meals to get the Alfredo. Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations so far. We're looking for even better and greater things watching you play this season, and we're so glad you're in Aggieland.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, that's Lauren Ware. When we come back, we will visit with Aisha Kulali. That's when the Joni Taylor Radio Show continues from Learfield. The next game for the Aggies is Thursday at 6 o'clock as they play at Purdue. You can listen on the A&M Sports Network. Locally, that's Zone 1150, or you can watch it on the Big Ten Network Plus. And then on Monday, the Aggies host Houston Christian at 7 o'clock. You can also listen on the A&M Sports Network. Locally, Zone 1150, or watch on the SEC Network Plus. Looking forward to having you all out next Monday at Reed Arena for the next home game. We are back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller, and we are joined by the one and only Aisha Kulali.
Howdy.
Now, we make light of the fact that we enjoy seeing you in the maroon and white because we did not want to see you anymore in the blue and orange. We're just tired of that. I mean, win or lose, it was fun watching you play. That's fine. Good player. We're so happy to have you on this team. Tell us about why you came to Texas A&M.
Just like Lauren said, part of it was the coaching staff, especially Joni. Just coming down here on my visit, it felt like family, It was a good environment, and I wanted to be part of the program and just help build the program back up.
What is it about your game that just drives opponents crazy?
I feel like my versatility and how hard I play every day. I feel like I step on the court and I'm going to give it my whole. It's like I treat it like it's my last game every game, and just go hard as I can and help my team however I can, which is rebounding, getting steals, and defense the best player.
What age did you pick up a basketball?
It was when I was 11 years old, and the story is really funny.
Oh, yeah?
So it's like one time I was in class, and then one of my classmates, she always wear her basketball jersey and just go somewhere. Mind you, I just go home and eat and go to sleep, and I was tired of it. I didn't know what to do. And then one time I was like, where do you go after school? And she was like, I go to the basketball court. And that one day I followed her, and that's how I started playing basketball. Since then, I picked up the basketball. I was 11 years old.
We're super happy you picked up the basketball.
Thank you.
That is great. What, just like I asked Lauren, do you have a favorite A&M tradition yet?
No, I just love saying howdy a lot and giggle after every game.
We'll take howdies and giggles. That works, right? Take a little time there. Can Joni tell us what AC is really bringing to this team?
I think she brings a level of intensity and just a dog mentality that we were missing consistently. And I think that she's someone who wants to lead the way in doing that. And I think she also wants to be a part of a winning program. And so it was twofold. She knew that she could help us. And I think she also knew that we could help her, not only pursue her individual dreams, but her dreams, as it relates to what she wants to be a part of with the team.
You had played 76 games in your career before you came to Texas A&M and had 9 double-doubles. You show up on day one, first game out the chute, and get a double-double. How'd you do it?
I just kept going for the rebound because they boxed me out every time. I was like, I'm going to get it either way. So I just, stick to the game plan. And, a Robbie's on me every practice when I don't get the rebound. So whenever I looked at him, I knew I got to go for the rebound. And I just kept pushing and just, box out and do what I have to do.
Joni talks about you playing in a different position than what you did at Auburn. How is that transition going for you?
It's been pretty good so far. I just, they're been helping me in practice and every day. Just having that mentality and playing a different position, I'm adapting well to it. Like being a 3, that's what I really wanted coming here. And being in that position, and they're just helping me getting ready for the next level right now. So it's been pretty good so far.
And the next level, you want to play professional basketball?
Yeah. That's the plan.
That's the plan. The WNBA overseas. What's your immediate?
It don't matter. Whatever I get, that's where I'm going.
You just want to play.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Chicken Alfredo, and I like that truck food they have down here. It's called Beef and Reef.
It's called
It's
what?
a taco place. Beef and Reef. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Where?
Y'all should try it out.
Where is this?
Oh, wrong person. I don't know.
How are you going to get more?
I be ordering it, and my friends take me. I don't know how to get
it
there.
just shows up at your doorstep?
Yeah.
So beef. She wants it's beef.
Beef and Reef. It's the taco place. It's a truck food. Like,
Okay.
y'all haven't heard that? I just got here and I know it. That's funny.
You have found all the secret spots already. It's so secret nobody here knows it.
It's really good. Cool. Y'all need to try it. It's really good.
Got some Googles going on. The internet here is going to explode waiting on the search here.
Reef.
What was your favorite food before you got here?
Chicken Alfredo.
Oh, just chicken Alfredo. It doesn't matter from where it is.
No.
It's the food truck.
From
it's a food truck.
Yeah, it's a food truck.
So it could be anywhere.
Yeah, no.
It could be drive by the street right now.
Not really. I think it's that specific spot where
it's pretty. You think it's anchored down?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're all. Maybe we can get Meredith to get it maybe as a pregame meal. We'll all just go by the food truck.
That would be good. Yeah.
That's just have it maybe park outside the arena.
Yes. That's gonna be a good one.
All right. Well, we'll make plans accordingly.
Good.
Thank you for joining us out here tonight.
You're
Everybody,
welcome.
Aisha
Thank you for having me.
We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield.
On game day, there's nothing better than cheering on the Aggies courtside with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea goes down smooth and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Cold, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea for the 12th man. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer. Keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Howdy, Ags. This is Rick Hill, the voice of Olsen Field at Bluebell Park and Pebble Creek Country Club member, inviting you to my home away from home. Pebble Creek amenities include a finger, die, span-inspired 18-hole golf course, both challenging to the professional and manageable for the beginner. Our resort-style pool, dining areas, and renowned Creekside Cantina with play area are ideal for any family occasion. Pebble Creek Country Club, the only private club in College Station, features complimentary event space available to members. Please visit us, pebblecreek.cc, or call us at 979-690-0996.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas A&M University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of Texas A&M University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and Texas A&M University. Sorry. Thank you, Kevin. We blocked our viewers who are watching us on the Facebook tonight who couldn't join us, and so we'll move my drink so they can see it. We're back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller, and Texas A&M 2-0 on the season. And Joni, it's time for the first road game heading to Purdue. Thoughts about going to Purdue?
I'm excited. Purdue's the NCAA tournament team. They returned 60% of their scoring. They lost 2 starters. They have a 6-year senior back. They have 2 fifth-year seniors, so they're experienced. They're physical. We're going to be in a tough environment. Purdue is a tough place to play, so it's a great road test for us, is what we need. And so I'm excited about the opportunity to see what we look like on the road against a really good team.
How did your schedule develop for this season?
Catherine Graham is in charge of our scheduling, and so she does right now she's almost got next year's schedule complete, so she works a year out to build our schedule. And it's a mix of who are we as a team, right? And so some of our schedule was built before we knew we were having Lauren Ware and AC and India Rogers, right? The transfer portal has kind of really flipped a little bit of your scheduling idea, but you want to be able to have tough games on the road, have tough games at home, and you want to have a tournament in there somewhere so that you can play back-to-back games that will prepare you for the SEC tournament and what it looks like when you go down the stretch. And so there's a mix of all those things, and you build it. The toughness of your schedule really depends on the roster you're returning, or the roster you think you're returning. And so our schedule is perfect for who we are right now. And as we continue to grow and build and add more talent to our roster, you're going to see our non-conference schedule become more and more challenging, because that's what you want. You want to be tested often and early and hard so that you know exactly what you need to work on, who you are, and it just sharpens your toolbox for SEC play.
Do you think some of the schedule development is just going to have to start happening later and later as because of the timing of transfer portals?
In some cases, yes. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 games that we can hold out on because of the portal. You don't want to look up and not have anybody to play.
Right.
And there's the net you have to consider. Like, it used to be the RPI. Now we go by the net. And so the net judges your non-conference schedule, not our conference schedule, because we don't control that. But it judges, like, is this team, 300 and higher? That's not good. Is this team, 150 and lower? So there's a number. Every team has a number attached to it based on performance, based on wins and losses, wins at home, wins on the road, vice versa. And so there's just a spreadsheet that we just look at and we say, okay, if we play this team, we've got to balance it out by playing this team. And you also want to play some, in-state games to, challenge yourself and to play some people in your state. So there's a mix of all those things. But I do think we've also added the ACC Challenge, right? So we go to Wake Forest this year. We don't know who will be coming to us next year. We didn't find that out until September. So in some cases, you're waiting to find out who those opponents are going to be before you fill in the last 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah, it's interesting that that's what's happening in basketball, where other sports setting the schedules 2 years in advance in some of the other Olympic sports. And it's interesting to watch basketball, and then you have the whole, I'm assuming the impact of television networks. There'll be some teams that are brokering games, like the game that happened with South Carolina and Notre Dame in Paris, and other matchups that go, hey, we need you to play this game. Yeah.
Well, even the Iowa-DePaul game that ended up being on TV, that was a closed scrimmage that turned into a TV game.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you talk about Caitlin Clark and that name everybody is familiar with, but our game, women's basketball, has just become so visible, and there's so many eyes on it, and it's growing at such a high rate. You're going to see more and more of that.
What do you think is attracting fans to women's basketball?
I think a couple things. I think the TV network has really done a great job. Once the SEC network became a thing and ESPN picked us up and gave us our own network, it allowed us to be on TV every single night, either on the network, SEC Plus, streaming. I remember when I played in the league, like, you had maybe 2 or 3 games on TV and you were excited about being on TV. Now every game is on TV, or you can stream it, or you can go back and watch it. And so I think visibility, number one. I think you also have a lot of players, you have a lot of dads whose daughters are playing basketball. Like, you look around and there's a lot of professional athletes who are now coaching their daughters, and that has also brought some attention. Think about, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Like, he did so much for our game because his daughter Gigi was playing. And so you also have that cycle of, famous or professional former athletes who are now coming to watch AAU tournaments because their daughters are playing, and that's making it more visible. And I think the talent level is just incredible when you watch what some of our student athletes are doing.
Well, the games have to be entertaining as well.
Right.
And women's basketball is playing 4 quarters, while the men's college is the only basketball left in the world playing halves. Do you think that plays a factor?
It does. I think our game has picked up. I also think going to 2 fouls instead of a 1-and-1 has changed our game in a positive way. It puts more points on the board. And so I definitely think going to 4 quarters has helped us a lot, advancing the ball with a minute left. Like, we've just done a lot more things to make our game more exciting.
There was a time where the powers that be in women's basketball would have never let these things happen. Well, they haven't done it to the men. Why would we do it?
Yes.
When did that start to change?
I would say I've been a head coach for 9 years now. So I would say probably in the last 10 or 12 years really is when the shift has been. Just because the men are doing it doesn't mean we have to do it. And just because the men aren't doing it doesn't mean we cannot do it. And so we really fought to, I think, the powers to be, when you talk about the guardians of our game, women's basketball, and I now would consider myself one of those people, we are really intentional about making sure we're not monkey see, monkey do. Like, we don't want to do it just because the men are doing it. If it's right for women's basketball, we want to do it. If it's not right for us, then we don't want to do it. And with all that being said, we want to make sure it's fair and equitable. So we're still fighting for unit distribution in women's basketball. So in men's basketball, for the NCAA tournament, they get money for being in the tournament based on their wins. And women's basketball, we don't get that. So there's no unit distribution. So some presidents and some ADs don't value us going to the tournament the way they value the men because no money is coming in the way it is on the men's side. So there's still things that we are behind and we're trying to fight for. But I think you look at just my time from 98 to 01, we've really come a long way. We still got work to do.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about maybe rule changes that you might see over the course of your upcoming career, the things you'd like to see as we see how the game develops. All right, Aggies 2-0. We'll talk to you again on Thursday night against Purdue, and hope to see everybody out on Monday night when the Aggies take on Houston Christian, 7 o'clock, Reed Arena. You can get tickets now, and we're looking forward to it. Thanks for sliding over here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See you later.
Good to see you guys.
That's Joni Taylor, everybody. Our thanks to Chelsea Newton and to Lauren Ware and to Aisha Kulali and to our engineers Kevin Minshew and to Kelly Jackson back in Jefferson City. For Coach Joni Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. Have a great night. This has been the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield.